Hello everybody and welcome back to the show. First off, before we begin, I want to thank everyone, and I mean everyone, for helping this channel reach 1,000 subscribers. But I'll go more into that at the end of the video, because right now, I feel like everyone here is raring to get into the finals. So Mimi, if you would, please bring down the mic. Yeah, okay. Wonderful, okay, let me just... Alrighty then, one and all, gather round, as today, AI has finally found out who the strongest Pokemon professor is in the Pokemon franchise. We started with 18, and across 4 videos, we've now reached the finals. Let's go and meet our fighters. In the red corner, standing at an impressive 11 foot 10 inches and weighing 330 pounds, it's Naganadel, and their trainer, our first finalist, Professor Burnett from Pokemon Dream Radar. And in the purple corner, with a height of 6 foot 7 and weighing in at 837 pounds, is the fearsome Roaring Moon, and their trainer, our second finalist, Professor Sada of Pokemon Scarlet. Alright, listen here. I want a good, clean battle. I don't want to see any Pokemon using any items. And you can only use Terrestrialization on your final Pokemon in battle. But apart from that, everything else is fair game. All of our past matches have been best of 3, where I only show one battle to save on time. However, this time round, I'm not only showing you all 3 battles. Oh no, for the finals, we'll be stepping things up a bit, as we'll be going for a best out of 5 to truly see who is the better battler. All 5 matches will have commentary, and even if one professor sweeps all 5 rounds, I'll still show you all the battles and in the order in which they happened. Okay, it looks like our fighters are ready and their teams are set. And if you were wondering where Burnett found her team that led her to the finals, then I would recommend watching this video up here where I discuss just that. But we have a battle ahead of us first. I hope everyone has found their seats, and let's get ready to Pokemon Rumble! And we head into our finals with round 1. Sada sending out Screentail and Burnett sending out Shuckle. Screentail missing the first Thunder Wave but will land the second. However, Shuckle will take that first turn to set up Stealth Rocks. Side Shot comes in but will do very little damage. However, Burnett will still swap out to Metagross. Screentail uses his turn to protect, possibly fearing the incoming damage, as Meteor Mash takes Screentail down to 13%. However, the Wish does proc, bringing it back up to above half, as it does land a Paralysis on Metagross before being taken out by a Meteor Mash, giving Burnett the upper hand, as Sada is the first to lose a Pokemon. Brute Bonnet comes out, as Burnett swaps back into Shuckle, who sets up a Sticky Web. Both sides are stalling each other out, as Brute Bonnet goes for the Spores, and Burnett choosing to just sack her Shuckle with Final Gambit, doing very little damage, but Naganadel will come in and take out Brute Bonnet, being followed in by Fluttermane. Naganadel using its Beast Boost to its advantage, taking out Fluttermane in 2 attacks, however leaving it at a low 22%. Slitherwing comes in, can decently take a Draco Meteor and take out Naganadel. The match is staying pretty even, but with Burnett still in the lead by 1 Pokemon. Sada will double switch into Slitherwing, taking that speed penalty, Stealth Rock damage, and then being taken out by Porygon Z. Roaring Moon comes in and is frozen by Tri-Attack. An absolute amazing opening was given to Burnett, as she was able to take down Sada's strongest Pokemon, as she switches into Bronzong to survive the Earth Power. As Sandy Shocks can do nothing but take on the attacks, leading Burnett to win the first round of our finals. And heading into round 2, Burnett currently in the lead at 1-0. Both will immediately send out the same starting Pokemon as they did in the last round of Screentail and Shuckle. A very similar matchup comes in, but Shuckle will be paralyzed on turn 1. However, it was able to get up Stealth Rocks. Screentail sends in a Wish, as Metagross once again knocks it down to a very low percentage before protecting, and the Wish bringing it up above half. Screentail is able to land a paralysis onto Metagross, as Metagross is stalled for 2 turns before coming in and taking out Screentail once again. Sada, not messing around this time, chooses to send in Roaring Moon to take out that pesky Metagross. As the Dragon Dance comes in on the switch, we've seen it many times before, you cannot allow Sada the chance to set up with Roaring Moon. As Shuckle will use Final Gambit, will only take off 1 HP. Metagross will come in and try and do some damage, but I think at this point it's too late, as Roaring Moon lands a crit. And comes in and completely takes out Porygon Z. Bronzong comes in and faints to a crunch. Gengar coming in and also being taken out by an Acrobatics. It seems like a complete sweep for round 2. As once again, Sada showing that if you ever give her the opportunity, she will absolutely take it, leading her to tie things up at 1-1. Now, under our normal tournament rules, this would be the final battle between the two. However, what the third round means in this case is while it doesn't guarantee a winner, it will put the trainer who wins this match into a pretty good spot going into round 4. As both are tied up at 1-1. Again, we're seeing a very familiar strategy. Shuckle coming in and having enough turns to set up both a Sticky Web and a Stealth Rock. Screentail waiting for that chance to hit the paralysis, which it does. But will be taken out once again by Metagross. Brute Bonnet comes in. Sada choosing to not send in Roaring Moon this time. I'm wondering how that will play out for her, as Shuckle re-enters the battle to face off against Brute Bonnet. While it is able to take the crunches, Burnett seemingly doesn't really know what to do with Shuckle there, as Metagross comes back in. However, she's just not sending out a Pokemon that can do enough damage to Brute Bonnet, as Metagross falls. Naganadel comes in, and will finally break through Brute Bonnet's defenses, allowing Naganadel that speed boost. However, Burnett choosing to not take it, and instead choosing to sack her Gengar, to then bring in Bronzong. Slitherwing will come in, before once again Burnett opting to switch. Slitherwing healing itself back up to full, as it tries to close combat against Naganadel, but will do less than half damage, as Fluttermane switches in to replace it. Fire Blast comes in, and does a decent amount of damage, but will be taken out on Naganadel's second attack. Sandy Shocks comes in, and can just survive a Draco Meteor, then taking out Naganadel. Things are now evened up at 3-3, as Roaring Moon finally hits the stage, with Bronzong doing a decent amount of damage to it, but the switch comes into Shuckle. As once again, Sada takes this opportunity to Dragon Dance. However, she doesn't follow up on it, opting to send in Sandy Shocks, who falls to Porygon Z. Slitherwing comes in. It will get hit with penalties and take more than half from Porygon Z, but will take out Burnett's Porygon Z with a close combat. It's now a 1v2. Bronzong terrestrializes as Slitherwing heals. Bronzong just not putting out enough damage though on this occasion, as Sada takes round 3, leaving this to be a 1 to Burnett and 2 to Professor Sada. And this is it. This could be match point for Professor Sada if she wins this match now. Once again, both sending in Shuckle and Screamtail. However, Shuckle does not set up sticky webs at this point. However, familiar play is being set up, as Screamtail will try to heal itself enough to survive the second attack, but I think we've seen it enough times already. It will land a paralysis, but will be taken out by Metagross. Rubonnet comes in, as Burnett falling into bad habits. We've seen it plenty of times that Shuckle cannot deal enough damage to take out Rubonnet, but it was able to set up sticky webs this time, but will fall from using Final Gambit. Naganadel coming right into it though, getting rid of Brute Bonnet. Burnett doesn't seem to be playing around this time, but will take a hefty amount of damage from Flutter Mane, but will KO it in the process, getting that time 2 speed boost from its ability. Sandy Shocks comes in, survives the hit, and Sandy Shocks will take out Naganadel. Gengar comes in, and probably gets what I believe is its first elimination throughout the tournament, taking out Sandy Shock. As Metagross comes in to face against Roaring Moon, but will be taken out on this occasion. Porygon-Z will come in, survive an acrobatics, and will take out Roaring Moon with a Tri-Blast. Slithering comes in and terrestrializes, will be hit with a crit and survives, takes out Porygon-Z. And Gengar eliminating 2 Pokemon in one match, tying things up at 2 for 2 as we head into our final round to see who will be the strongest professor. One and all, here we are in the final battle. Both professors have done a fantastic job so far, tying things up at 2 to 2. The crowd is going crazy, as once again Metagross faces off against Screamtail. Shuckle did have enough turns to set up both of its entry hazards. However, will Metagross? Yep, Metagross will still be hit by Thunder Wave, but can still take out Screamtail as the crowd cheers them on. Rubonnet comes in, and will crit crunch Metagross, taking out Metagross early on. However, Naganadel immediately comes in and slaps back, taking out Brute Bonnet. But that's the earliest we've ever seen Metagross fall. Shuckle comes in to take on Flutter Mane, but will be swapped out into Bronzong. Both not faring well against those Shadow Balls, as Burnett swaps again into Porygon-Z, who will be immune, but will take half to a Moonblast, nearly taking out Flutter Mane. Burnett hoping for that speed boost, as Flutter Mane tried to set up, but its health was just too low to take advantage of it. Naganadel will hit Slitherwing with a Fire Blast. However, Slitherwing will just survive with a sliver of health. Naganadel will take it out though on the second attack, as Sandy Shocks comes in, missing the Draco Meteor and being taken out by Sandy Shocks. That could do it for the match. Burnett is down her 2 strongest fighters, as this is still a 2d4. It is close. However, Sandy Shocks will tank the incoming damage. It is toxic. However, it does take out Bronzong, but Gengar comes in and crits Sandy Shocks. We're now free to Burnett. 1 Pokemon left to Sada. However, it is her Roaring Moon, who takes the opportunity of the switch to set up and takes out Porygon-Z. It's now a 2v1. Gengar tries to half its damage with a burn, but is taken out by Crunch. And I think we've seen this matchup too many times to know how this is going to end. As of course, Sada rubs it in by setting up with 1 final Dragon Dance before coming in and taking out Shuckle with an Acrobatics. And there we have it. The strongest Pokemon professor from our AI tournament, Professor Sada of Pokemon Scarlet. Let the crowd cheer her on. And congratulations to the winner of our Pokemon AI Professor Tournament, Professor Sada of Pokemon Scarlet. It was a very fierce battle between the two, but considering that Professor Burnett did make use of her abilities, while Professor Sada chose not to once again, really shows how she stood above the rest of the competition. So I gotta say, congratulations to you, Professor Sada. Here is your long-awaited trophy. Okay, now it's my show. And so there we have it, everyone. Across 4 videos, 16 trainers, we finally found out who was the strongest professor. Now I know some people will be watching this and be like, well, it was kind of obvious it would be Professor Sada. However, Professor Burnett certainly did put on one heck of a show for us, which was a bit of a concern of mine. I kind of realised that either Sada or Toro would make it into the finals. However, I was worried that their opponent wouldn't really be up to the chance to go against them and really make the finals as fantastic as they were here, so I'm very glad to be proven wrong. So it was a good show by Professor Burnett and a well-deserved second place. If you have made it this far, then you might want to hit that like and subscribe button. The channel has been growing at an amazing pace, and I would like you to join this growing community. As I stated at the start of this video, a huge thanks to all of my 1000 subscribers for being a part of this silly little channel of mine. While I thought that this video would make for a decent special, with it being the finals and all, I will instead have a separate video coming out in the next couple of weeks to celebrate the occasion. It won't be anything too flashy, but it's been a video that I've been wanting to make for a very long time, and it's something that friends of mine have also been telling me to record for just as long. As far as other projects go that are in the works, I have another Pokemon discussion video ready in the editing phase, so expect that coming out soon as well. However, for all my new subscribers on this channel, I should warn you, while I wish I could upload weekly, like I have been for the past month, I sadly don't always have the time, so expect videos to be coming out at a slightly slower pace than you've been used to. But if you find yourself starved for all more content, then I would highly recommend heading over to my Twitch page, as I'll be trying to stream more often. I mainly stream gaming challenges, or get into other shenanigans with fellow VTubers such as Big Worm, Virtual Goblin, or Pyrio Cafe. So check out the link below and come say hi to me in chat. But with that, it's finally time to close the curtains on this mini-series. Once again, a big congratulations to Professor Sada for winning the tournament. And a massive thank you to everyone watching and supporting my content. And lastly, I hope to see you next time, and I hope you enjoyed the show.